Oh, Hawk. How could I do this to you, Hawk? In the end, here is the problem. The air cleaner. Okay, so here's what I've done so far. Here was the symptom. I'm going to go through this whole story and kind of bring you guys up to date who haven't seen this whole thing. But if you've got a Hawk, be cognizant of this because I can't believe how simple the ultimate fix was. So for starters, I'm doing a shot. I'm doing a high-speed run down the freeway or the highway here about near me. And the Hulk started sputtering after that run. And I couldn't figure out why, but I assumed it was old gas because was just going to the station to fill up after last year's fuel. So I really thought I gunked up the old carb, and you couldn't, there's tamper-proof screws, and you can see this new carb has screws. So I got a clone of a Mikuni VM26, like a 30 millimeter. I got this thing, Whimbindi, whatever that is. And then I put in a 110 jet. And I was excited, thinking, no matter what, this is going to work way better, and whatever my clog problem is will go away. Well, wouldn't you know it, I put in the new carb with the 110 jet, and nothing happened. It didn't work. I put in the carb, and I had the exact same problem, actually a little bit worse. So I then decided, well, I better check the spark plug. So I put in an Iridium spark plug here. And that was great, but it didn't work any better than the old one because that wasn't the problem either. So I decided to take apart the carb here, which I did, and I went ahead and put back in the stock jet, the 100 jet that came with this, thinking maybe I had the mixture wrong. And then I had a little thumb screwdriver here that I used to unscrew the air-fuel mixture under here 2 turns. So that's what I did. Put it back together, thinking now this is a stock carb, and everything should work fine. And lo and behold, I get out there, and I turn it on, and I have the exact same problem. I mean, I'm just beside myself here thinking, what is the deal? How come everyone who does this carb mod on YouTube gets their bike to work perfect? And here I'm just screwing around, doing all of these various things, and nothing is working. So I decided before I go too crazy, the next thing I'm going to do is take my air cleaner off completely. And wouldn't you know it, but the Hulk comes alive and just performs beautifully. All the hesitation problems are gone. It works perfectly. So, I just can't believe that I went through all of this trouble, and it all ended up being a dirty air cleaner. Now, I guess I don't quite understand why it would go from working fine to not working at all so suddenly. I don't know why it would possibly do that, but obviously it did. And I can't explain it. I didn't think this air cleaner was too bad here, but apparently it is. So Hulk needs to breathe. I'm so sorry, Hulk, that I was stifling you for air, but that's why it would make sense that it worked even a little bit worse when I threw the 110 jet in here, because this was getting more fuel And once it was getting more fuel, it also needed more air, which it didn't have enough of to begin with. So in the end, that was the problem. So I guess now I have to order more things. First thing I did order is a hand adjustment for the fuel mixture here in front. That was about $10, and I'm going to install that. And when I do, I'm putting that 110 jet back on there. And then secondly, I need to get a high flow filter here to handle the air that it needs to perform. So that's what I'm going to do. This will take a couple of days to get my parts, but we'll go ahead and test it after that point. But really, problem solved, and it's too bad I had to buy a new carb, a new spark plug, take apart the carb twice, and the only thing I ever needed to do was take out this air filter. That's it. I mean, it's just sad. I really can't really believe that I would be so foolish as to not get on this right away. But having never had this problem before, it all looked like fuel issues. That's what it seemed like. But I was just so stumped on this last time I went out and tested it. The first thing I said is, I'm taking out that air cleaner. I'm crossing that off the list. And lo and behold, this air cleaner is considered too dirty for the Hawk. And I'm so sorry, Hawk. I'll get you a new air cleaner right away. And we'll get you a high flow model so you can breathe and live and be happy again. And I'm just so sorry that I've been stifling you for breath, because that's no way to live. And I don't want you to be having to wheeze and things like that when all you want to do is breathe deeply. And you deserve it, Hawk. And we're going to make sure you get that. So with that, problem solved on the bike. Of course, testing to follow. But at least we have finally solved the issue. So if you're going through your bike having all sorts of problems, it's bogging out at high rev, I guess air cleaner problems can pop up all of a sudden. So that's the way it goes. Make sure you check that. I fully expect to have a great time on this bike. I'll go ahead and, again, I'll take the carb out, put that 110 jet back in, and maybe I'll even get the bigger Pilot jet here when I do it again. But I'll leave it alone for now. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Hawk, for putting up with me strangling you for air. And of course, when it's all about the Hawk, as it always is, it's just a tremendous slight to not let your Hawk breathe. So breathe freely, Hawk. We'll make sure you're taken care of.